3, 2, 1.
It's hammer time.
A little bit more excited, a little bit more energetic. Come on, 3, 2, 1.
It's hammer time. Time.
Tony there?
Yep, I'm there.
Radio check.
Radio's loud and clear, Lewis. Radio check, Foundry.
Copy.
We've got Toto at the end, and then to the right of him we've got Lewis's crew, and then to the left-hand side we've got the Valtteri's crew, and then working from Toto's end, so the back of the garage forward, we've got the race engineer who's actually on the radio, then you have the performance engineer, and that's Ricky or Marcus, and then from there on one side we have tyres on Lewis's side, and so they're basically across garage, so they're just performing that role, and then on the other side we've got the aero representative, so that tends to roll through the season, different personnel every other race. And then at the far end we've got the HPP engine mechanic, who's basically just looking at the engine fire-ups, making sure that we end up sending the car out at the right temperature with all the right pressures.
As a team principal, the risk of distracting the operational guys is much bigger than actually adding some value. So I felt that for my role, sitting back in the garage and having an overview of everything is more important. Well, I can see both engineering teams. I can see Tony, and I can see Bono and his team. I see the cars on track, and I can see the guys on the pit wall out there.
The pit wall, it was an area where it's very noisy. The old V8 cars pounding around, making a lot of noise. And back then the radio quality wasn't brilliant. So now we've got the digital noise cancelling, and it's so much better. I can't see much. I'm not very tall myself.
Yeah, he can't see anything at all.
Tony's got the benefit of, he's about 3 or 4 inches taller than me, so he can actually see over. I have to tend to peer around.
So I'm looking mainly at the chassis channels.
So we're looking at the telemetry, so that's both the reliability of the car and the performance elements of the car.
That you have to be careful just to kind of take out the ones that you're not interested in.
And then finally, I'm trying to think what the third thing is.
Strategy is one. There are so many feeds in terms of channels.
I've actually got about 16 different things.
I mean, even when you come back from the summer shutdown, because you've been away for 2 weeks, it's like being first day of term again. So each through a weekend, because it's so kind of busy, you've got to remember again, right, I should be doing this now, I should be doing that now.
No, I didn't really struggle with the front anymore, so the front was good.
Valtteri has his own Finnish style of being very, very calm, very objective, even in the most stressful of situations.
Have you gone for a break, Bono? Because I haven't had an update for a while.
Normally I'm just giving him a lap-by-lap update. I'm like his virtual pit board. We do hang the pit board out, but it's a lot easier for me to just tell him what the gaps are, lap times, and any concerns that we've got.
I'm back now, Lewis. Verstappen 33.6. We have lost that safety car gap to him with the traffic. You're going to have 5 cars coming up soon.
This is a relatively new thing in that we now have wireless intercoms available, and we can use those on the grid. So you may see on the pit wall and on the engineer's island, we've got the intercom panel, which has got about 10 buttons on it, and each of those buttons is not a person. It's a group of people, it's a conversation. But in terms of when the drivers come back to the garage, what they do is they stick the headset on. I'm on the grid, I have an intercom panel with me, a wireless pack, but I can actually talk to the driver whilst they're in the garage. There's no cameras, no fuss, and we can have a quick debrief about the laps to grid, what the balance felt like, what's the weather like, what are we expecting. So yeah, we can actually go through all that without the hustle and bustle of 1,000 people crowded around the car on the grid.
Good job, good job.
Great job, great job, everyone. Going back to the factory. What a weekend.
Yes, get in it. Get in there, Lewis. You can hear it, mate. You can hear that crowd. You are the man.
So last question, what do you love most in your job?
Winning.
Winning.